All right, so Nvidia's earnings report.
Oh, yeah.
Hoping out on November 20th, right? Everyone's talking AI these days, so we got to be in the know.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking about Nvidia stock, well, stick with us. We're going deep on this Motley Fool article. It's called, Should You Buy Nvidia Stock Before November 20? Wall Street has a compelling answer. We'll break down all the details, help you cut through the noise so you can decide what to do with your own money.
Sounds good.
So Nvidia, right?
Yeah.
They've had like a total transformation.
It's wild, isn't it?
Used to be all about those graphics cards for like gamers.
Right, right.
And now suddenly they're like the AI kings.
They're like the heart of it all, yeah.
Yeah. The brains behind the AI revolution.
Exactly.
And you can see it in their stock price too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Up over 900% since like the beginning of 2023.
It's insane.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
And this article really breaks it down, how their revenue and profits have just exploded. Like everyone wants these AI chips.
Right, like supply and demand, right.
Yeah.
Everybody needs these things.
It's crazy.
It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like you think about it, all this growth, it's all because of generative AI,
Mm-hmm.
like ChatGPT and AI image generators, all that stuff.
Like those things wouldn't even be possible without these chips.
They're like the engine.
Yeah, like the engine, exactly.
Yeah, and NVIDIA's sitting pretty.
Yeah, they're in a good spot.
They are, and you know, we saw their numbers for Q2, right?
Yeah.
For the 2025 fiscal year, like $30 billion in revenue.
That's huge.
That's a 122% jump, like year over year.
It's crazy. Like, how does that even happen?
I know, but I mean, it can't keep going like this forever, right? The article kind of hints that things might like slow down a bit.
Well, a slowdown is expected.
Yeah.
I mean, but that doesn't mean that the upcoming earnings report isn't important.
Or for sure, it's still a big deal.
Yeah.
So they're projecting what, like $32.5 billion in revenue for this next quarter, which is still a 79% increase year over year.
It's still huge.
Still massive.
Okay.
And, you know, remember that projection first came out?
Yeah.
Like the stock dipped a little bit,
It did, just a tiny bit.
but then it bounced right
It
back,
came right back, yeah.
which I think says something, right?
I think it definitely does.
Because historically, they've always like exceeded expectations, both their own and Wall Street's.
Right. They always seem to beat the estimates.
Yeah, which, you know, leads us to what all the analysts are saying.
Okay, yeah. What do they think?
Like, what's the verdict?
Okay, so get this. 94% of analysts
Wow.
rate Nvidia stock as either a buy or a strong buy.
No way.
Not a single one recommends selling.
Wow.
That's pretty rare to have that much agreement,
Yeah,
you know?
that's a strong signal.
It definitely is.
They must be seeing something big on the horizon.
Oh, they must.
Yeah.
What's making them so bullish? Well, the article highlights one big thing,
Okay.
and that is Nvidia's upcoming Blackwell architecture. Blackwell architecture?
Yeah, it's their next generation of AI processors.
Okay, break that down for me.
Okay, so think of it
What is that?
as like the next big jump in AI processing power.
Okay.
It's specifically designed to handle like the really intense demands of AI workloads
Oh, okay.
and making it faster and more efficient than anything we've seen before.
So, like, potentially a game changer.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even NVIDIA's CEO called the excitement around this insane.
Oh, kidding.
Yeah, and this isn't just hype, you know.
Right.
Their CFO actually said they expect Blackwell to bring in several billion dollars in revenue
Wow.
by the fourth quarter.
Okay, so Blackwell's kind of being set up as the next big growth engine
Yeah.
from Nvidia. But here's the thing that I keep thinking about. Like, the stock price has already gone up so much.
It has.
Isn't it already, like, super expensive?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
You're right to be thinking about that. Yeah.
I mean, Nvidia stock is currently trading at about 34 times its projected earnings for next year.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's definitely a premium price. There's no question about that.
So help me understand this. Like, why would anyone buy the stock now when it's already so high?
Yeah, I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Like, are they really worth that much?
Yeah.
Well, to answer that, we kind of need to dig a little deeper.
Okay.
So let's start by looking at, NVIDIA's track record, right?
Okay.
Over the past 5 years, their revenue has gone up by, get this, 868%.
Wow.
And their net income
That's a lot.
It's skyrocketed an unbelievable 1,650%.
That's insane.
It's pretty wild.
So, okay, they're not just riding the AI wave, they're actually delivering massive growth.
Exactly. And that helps justify
Right.
the high price tag to some extent.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's got to be more to it than that, right?
Well, yeah.
It can't just be past performance.
Right. There's the whole potential of the AI market itself.
Right, exactly.
That's the other big piece.
That's huge.
Oh.
The puzzle.
Right. Like the potential for AI is just enormous.
Yes.
Estimates start at $1 trillion and go up from there.
And even more, probably.
Yeah. I mean, and Nvidia is like the top dog in the AI chip market.
Exactly. They're the lead.
They're the leader. So that puts them in like a prime position to grab a big chunk of that growth.
Right. They're in a good spot.
Yeah.
They really are.
I mean, it's like they're not just selling chips, they're selling like
a piece of the future.
a piece of the future. But even with all this amazing potential,
Yeah.
there's got to be some risks involved, right?
Absolutely.
Like nothing's a sure thing.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, and the article does mention that earlier this year, like Nvidia stock did take a dip.
It did, yeah.
A 27% dip.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah, ouch. Before bouncing back, but still, like,
Yeah.
what happened there?
Well, I mean, the market can be unpredictable.
For sure.
Right. Especially in a field like AI.
Yeah.
It changes so fast.
It's moving so fast.
And there are always things that can influence stock prices,
Right.
in the short term.
Yeah.
Like, concerns about an economic slowdown or maybe, increased competition.
Right.
These things can kind of spook investors.
Yeah, totally.
Make them a little nervous.
So basically, like, volatility is just part of the game here.
Yeah, you got to be ready for the ups and downs.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings us back to you, dear listener.
Yes.
Because we've thrown a lot of information your way.
We have.
Right. We talked about the growth, the potential, the risks.
All of it.
What do you think? Like, what stands out to you? What's the most important thing to consider if you're thinking about Nvidia?
Well, I think one of the key takeaways is that NVIDIA's success is really closely tied to the overall growth of the AI market.
Right.
Like, if AI keeps advancing
Yeah.
and becoming more widely adopted,
Right.
NVIDIA is going to benefit big time.
They're in the right place at the right time.
But,
If the AI bubble bursts or their growth slows down significantly,
right.
that could have a real impact on their stock price.
Yeah, it's kind of like investing in a gold mine, right?
Yeah, that's a good
If
analogy.
there's gold in the ground,
Or golden.
you're set.
Yeah.
But if the mine dries up,
You're in trouble.
yeah, you're out of luck.
So you got to keep an eye on the bigger picture,
Exactly.
not just focus on,
On NVIDIA specifically.
NVIDIA's individual performance, right?
Yeah, right.
So what are the emerging trends in AI? Are there any potential, like, disruptors, competitors on the horizon? I mean, these are all questions worth exploring.
Yeah, and speaking of disruptors, there's this one analyst quoted in the article,
Okay.
Ben Reitz's from Milius Research.
Okay. Yeah.
He makes this, really bold statement.
Okay.
He says selling NVIDIA stock now would be like selling Apple
Whoa.
back when the first iPhone came out.
That's a pretty big statement.
I know, it's a bold comparison.
It is.
But I think it, speaks to this belief that we're still in the early stages
Yeah, we're just getting started.
of the AI revolution.
Right.
Just like the smartphone changed everything,
Oh, yeah.
the way we live and work,
Transformed everything.
AI has the potential to do the same, maybe even more.
Absolutely.
And NVIDIA, with its dominance in AI chips, is obviously a key player
Yeah, they're at the forefront.
in that transformation.
Yeah.
But the article also reminds us this isn't a sure thing.
Right. Of course not.
They do face competition.
They do. There are other chip makers out there.
Yeah.
And the AI landscape is changing all the time.
It's evolving so fast.
But there's always a risk that a new technology or a new competitor could come along
Right.
and disrupt everything.
Yeah. And, that's why it's so important to,
Stay informed.
stay informed, do your own research,
Absolutely.
make your own decisions based on, your own risk tolerance
Right. How much risk are you comfortable with?
and investment goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to achieve?
This deep dive, right? It's just a starting point.
Yeah, just a taste.
Hopefully it's given you a better understanding of where NVIDIA stands.
Yeah, in the AI world.
In the AI world,
It's a fascinating world.
it really is. And like you said, knowledge is power,
Especially in AI.
especially in this field.
Things are changing so rapidly.
So the more you understand, the better equipped you'll be
Exactly.
to navigate the opportunities and challenges
And make informed decisions.
that lie ahead.
Absolutely.
So to bring it all back, should you buy NVIDIA's stock?
Oh, the big question.
Before their earnings report on November 20th.
Well,
what do you think?
I can't give financial advice, but I can say this.
Okay.
Nvidia is a company with a proven track record of innovation and growth.
They've delivered.
They have, and they're leading the AI chip market, which is a really, really fast-growing sector.
It is.
But, they face competition, and it's a volatile market.
It sounds like a classic high-risk, high-reward scenario.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So ultimately, the decision is a personal one.
It is, yeah.
You got to weigh those potential rewards
against the risks.
And make a choice that,
aligns with your goals.
Aligns with your goals and your risk tolerance.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the financial side of things.
We have.
But now I kind of want to shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And think about, the bigger picture.
The big picture, I like it.
Yeah, what does Nvidia's dominance in AI hardware really mean for the future of AI itself?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, their expertise in building the hardware that powers AI gives them a really unique advantage.
Yeah.
They really understand what AI algorithms need and the challenges of developing these, increasingly powerful chips.
Yeah, and more efficient chips.
And more efficient, yeah. And I think this understanding could give them a big advantage. If they decide to go beyond hardware.
So you're saying, they could use their expertise in hardware.
Yeah, leverage it.
To move into AI software.
Potentially.
Or even, AI development.
It's possible, yeah.
Build their own AI.
It's not out of the question.
Wow.
We've seen other tech giants do similar things.
Right, like Apple.
Yeah, think about Apple.
They started with computers.
Right, and then music players.
Then smartphones.
Now they're making their own movies and TV shows.
Right, and Amazon.
Started as a bookstore.
Yeah, online bookstore.
Now they're doing everything.
They're in everything.
Cloud computing, grocery delivery, you name it.
It's wild. So it's not crazy to imagine Nvidia following that same path.
No, it's not.
They've got the resources. They've got the talent.
They have everything they need.
The motivation.
Yeah.
It's like they've built the foundation of the AI house.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And now they're starting to think about,
decorating.
The interior design.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. So if they do decide to go beyond hardware, what are some of the possibilities?
Well, they could develop specialized software tools.
Okay.
Platforms for AI developers. They could create their own AI models.
Wow.
Algorithms.
Okay.
Potentially even compete them with companies like Google and OpenAI.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Or they could go even further.
Okay.
And build entire ecosystems around AI.
Wow.
Offering a whole suite of hardware, software, and services.
The one-stop shop for AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's a pretty mind-blowing thought.
It is Nvidia, the gatekeeper to the AI kingdom.
Right. But that brings up some, interesting questions, too.
It does, for sure.
Doesn't it? What happens if one company gains too much control?
Right. That's the concern.
Over a technology as powerful as AI.
Absolutely.
What does that mean for innovation? For competition?
Yeah, does it stifle innovation?
Right, and even for societal values.
That's a big question.
Yeah, that's something we need to think about carefully.
For sure.
As AI becomes, more integrated into our lives.
More and more every day.
Yeah, which is happening, rapidly.
It is, so we need to have those conversations about the potential benefits.
And risks.
And risks, for
sure. It's we're at this crossroads with AI.
We are, yeah.
On one hand, it could, solve all these problems.
Huge potential.
Yeah, huge potential. But then there are all these unknowns.
Right, and potential downsides.
And risks, that we can't just ignore.
We can't just brush those aside.
No, we can't. And it's interesting, the article we've been talking about.
Yeah.
It really focuses on, the financial side of things.
Business side.
The business side, yeah. Nvidia, the stock. But it doesn't really get into the, ethical implication.
Right, the bigger questions.
Yeah, of AI. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, those ethical questions are becoming more and more important. We need to be thinking about things like, bias in algorithms, data privacy, the impact on jobs.
Right.
And even the potential for misuse.
Yeah, people using it for bad things.
Exactly, bad actors, So
how do we make sure that AI is being developed responsibly?
That's the big question, yeah.
What steps can we take to mitigate those risks?
Well, I think first off, we need more transparency from the companies that are building AI. We need to know what they're doing, how they're doing it. And then we need some clear guidelines and regulations.
Like some rules of the road.
Yeah, to govern how AI is used. And then I think, having open and honest conversations.
Yeah, like we're doing now.
Exactly, about the benefits and risks.
Yeah, it sounds like this isn't just a conversation for, like, tech companies.
No, not at all.
And policymakers.
It involves everybody.
Yeah, we all have a stake in this.
We do. I mean, AI is going to impact our lives.
It's going to change everything.
In so many ways.
Yeah. So we all need to have a voice in shaping its future.
Absolutely. We need to be part of the conversation.
So where does this leave us with Nvidia?
Wow.
We've talked about their incredible growth.
It's been phenomenal.
Their potential to really dominate the AI hardware market.
They're in a great position.
And even, maybe become a major player in AI software and development.
Yeah, they could really expand their reach.
But we also talked about, the risks and the ethical concerns.
Right, those are real too.
That come with that kind of power.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is. It's a complex picture.
It is, for sure.
But it's exciting.
It is exciting.
Nvidia is at the forefront of this technological revolution.
They are leading the charge.
That could change the world.
It could, and that's both exciting and a little bit daunting.
It is. It's like they're holding the keys to the kingdom.
They are.
But it's a kingdom that's still being built.
And we get to help decide what it looks like.
Yeah, we as a society have to decide what kind of kingdom we want it to be.
Exactly. We have a say in this.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into Nvidia.
Hope you enjoyed it.
We hope you found it informative and, thought-provoking.
And maybe got you thinking.
And maybe even a little inspiring.
Yeah, there's a lot to be excited about.
There is. And remember, knowledge is power, so keep learning, keep asking questions, and stay engaged in the conversation about the future of AI.
Absolutely. The future is in our hands.